Hello everyone, and welcome to Fire Emblem Three Houses. And this game was donated by my friend Card. When people donate a game, I do try to follow through with their request to the best of my abilities. And that is why we have Mist here along with us.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, okay, I did change his. I was just thinking about the fact that we have to do now. I'm like, did I, make sure that I had that going on? We have kitties right here. Even a little black.
Kitty Brigade!
Kitty Brigade. Now they even got a little black one right there, which I love. And Mr. Kitty. Shrestvelgian Whisker. Apparently.
Which one? Shrestvelgian?
Yeah, Shrestvelgian Whisker.
That's an Edelgard kitty!
Venom Stone. We've got a Varlayan, or however you spell that.
Really?
Hmm?
I think that's a Bernie kit. A Bernie kitty.
I can't interact with the dog. I just gotta get in exactly the right position. It's an A-year hound.
Maybe.
That is a Fernet.
Yeah.
Guess what I noticed? I can see further than most other people can see. But I can't figure the point of seeing further than an arrow can fly, since I can't shoot what I see.
Detect enemy movements in advance. Find your targets quicker than anyone.
I suppose it could be real useful for finding Lady Rhea, too. Thanks, Professor. I think I get it now. I'm gonna put my eyes to real good use.
It's so interesting, just like the design of the monastery it's just really interesting to me. I don't know why. They did a really good job of, really filling it out and things like that.
Oh, yes.
So, and there's even stuff like, these towers and things that are difficult to see, but yet you can still see that they put a lot of work and detail into even some of these things that are far off and difficult. They definitely didn't need to put that much work into the towers way up there, and yet...
You can see the actual architectural detail that the roofs would have had if they were actually built in our world.
Yeah. Go to Abyss. Oh yeah. They did a really good job with this game. They really have. Let's see. Now that we're down here.
Hey, listen up. I've got something to report. I hear there was a huge battle recently. Glad to see you made it back safe and sound. Maybe there's life after death, or maybe that's just a bunch of pretty words. Either way, we should live like our time here is all we've got.
Pardon me. Got a wager for you. My friend says there's twice as many women in Abyss as men. You think he's right?
No, the men aren't as few as that. Yes, easily twice as many women.
You got eyes. Take a look around.
I mean, there are a lot of men here, so... I don't keep track. This guy... looks like
He's drunk.
I was gonna say, looks like he's exhausted or something. Yeah, drunk makes sense, actually. Now, once you said drunk, I was like, yeah, that is it. That's what I'm looking for.
Haven't seen him in ages. He seems less rabid, but he's still too damn serious. It's depressing. I challenged him to a brawl, hoping for a quick knockout. Didn't work out that way. We went at it for quite a while.
Excuse me, goodness. Should have invited me.
The two of us could have taken him down, no problem. Between you and me, the man is stunning in battle. Nearly on par with myself. Bet the ladies can't get enough.
Let's see. What can I turn in here at the pagan altar? I have a lot of these fish now. I think I can turn in a couple more of those. Whoa! Forget, if you want to go by, like, individuals, you have to go slow. Otherwise it just flies, which I don't mind, because it means that you get through, like, selecting items quickly. But then, like, it doesn't, you know, start slow and then speed up. If you're holding the button, the game's just like, oh, you must just want to go fast. Sonic speed! Yeah! So... Again, I'm not, you know, I don't mind that it goes fast. I like the fact that it goes fast. It's just like, oh, I want to go up 3, and then you push it and hold it, and the next thing you know, it goes from 1 to 2 to 7. It's like, well, okay.
It's not like we have much choice. We don't have the numbers to face the Empire head on. So we've just got to shut it and deal.
Alright. Keep trying to ask Yuri for training, and then it's like, nope, he never has.
That means I'll run into the lady who, well, you know.
Must be eager to face her, your old archenemy.
I'm not nearly pompous enough to call anyone my archenemy. We'll just have to see what happens when I meet her face to face.
Yes, Cornelia. I was actually noticing that when I was uploading, I think it was the episode that was airing either today or yesterday. I was like, oh, yeah. Because we were here, and I'm like, oh, that's coming up, isn't it? We're going to have to go to the capital and deal with Cornelia.
It takes us closer to the Ferdiad School of Sorcery, where I explored many branches of study. This way, I can repay my debt to the teachers who gave me such invaluable guidance.
Go ahead and give me that reason. Nope, there's a couple people over this way.
I've been close with one of the kingdom's soldiers I met in town. He talked about how he hated the war. We just got engaged. I thought he'd stay. He didn't want to invade the Empire, but he left with the front anyway. He never came back.
Aww.
I hear there was a pretty spectacular battle up there recently, but we don't hear a lot about that stuff. There was a lot of talk when it first started, but 5 years on, it's just a fact of life. What? There have been lots of battles on the surface recently? I hadn't heard. See what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose that when you get right down to it, like, a lot of these, like, a lot of the fighting and stuff is just going to be like, oh, that's just normal now, and so people aren't going to keep up on, like, all of the battles and things. It's only really the important ones that you're going to keep up on. It's like, I don't know how many, like, battles there have been, you know, between us and, like, all of the, like, Middle Eastern countries that we've been fighting here for the last, God, it's almost been 20 years, actually. Just realized. But I know there's been some important battles, and that's what's kind of comes down to it. Those are the ones that you hear the most about. Let's take the Dew. Just because he hasn't had a lot of training. Because he didn't join until recently. Beachell, playing Pokemon Shield. I would love to play Pokemon Shield. Wow! My meter went way the heck up so fast. The dude's like barely even budged.
Oh, that one went better.
That one
Stay long.
Yeah. I think we'll be fine if I just do this one. Now, the dude didn't. Despite the dude getting in the green, he never got like comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, what can you do? Wait, stuck on a wall. Also, you sound tired.
Do I?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been sleeping too terribly well the last few nights.
Has shifted greatly.
I understand that.
Revenge for all our fallen friends. We'll have to stake our lives on the fight that lies before us.
Maybe I don't feel like I can just forget all the awful stuff he's done. But if His Highness is owning up to his past and trying to move forward, I figure I can give him that chance. We've been friends since we were kids. I'm gonna be there for him all the way to the end.
Nothing you can teach me. But now I can finally do stuff with Dimitri, I noticed.
Caused trouble for you, didn't I? I am so sorry, truly.
Also, we have support, so that I'm gonna have to do. I just remembered.
Now, it's time to go to the kingdom capital. I hope that you will lend me your strength once again.
Lance.
How is this? Everyone is saying His Highness is back to his old self, but I do not think that is accurate. What he was until recently is what he had been for as long as I've known him. So tortured by his compassion for the fallen that it had driven him mad. He has always been too kind to be king. He has always felt too much for the weak and the dead. That is exactly why I look up to him.
Nothing there. I'm not too surprised.
Dimitri's completely changed. Or maybe I should say he's finally back to normal. Either way, I'm glad he's come around to the idea of retaking Ferdiad. With our current troops, there's no way we could handle the Imperial capital. We wouldn't even get past Fort Mercius.
Fort Mercius.
How is this?
I am familiar with the name. I feel like it's come up several times.
So we're turning around and heading for the kingdom capital? Ridiculous. Tell him to cease this nonsense. Isn't there a saying in Vodland? Something about those with power knowing how to use it. If he's not
Which
careful,
name?
the goddess will send her saints to
Fort
save
Mercius?
him. Not that I believe.
Well, it is one of the two primary forts on the border of the Adrestian Empire.
Yeah.
It was a disorderly city. Even the water supply was poorly constructed. As such, it was a hotbed of sickness and disease. The late king hired a researcher named Cornelia, who advised that he give top priority to improving the city's infrastructure. In the space of just a few years, the city was transformed into a place of beauty and order. At the same time, the diseases that had plagued our land loosened their grip, one after another. It was miraculous.
I see. I agree.
Interesting.
We should head for Ferdiad, but let's not forget our search for Lady Rhea. The soldiers from the church are going to set up a base at the Great Bridge of Murden. They'll be able to keep up the search while we head for the kingdom capital.
Oops.
They'll be
Had to boost that reason, or the faith. Actually, I think reason was the other one. I just hit the wrong button.
Oh, Professor, I didn't mean... it's not that I'm looking forward to it or anything.
I don't have to hide it.
Please don't tease me like that. It's just, when I think of us finally saving everyone in Ferdiad, it makes me a little happy. Okay, maybe a lot happy. The kingdom capital is under the tight control of Cornelia, who is ennobled by the Empire. Judging by what we heard from Lord Rodrigue, it sounds like she's a tyrant. But all of that ends soon. Let's get there quickly.
And reason. Alright. And here we go. Talk to Gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper gun!
Fruitiad is a city with a long history that goes back to before Fargus gained its independence. I'd like to visit that place at least once before I die. But I'm afraid I have my own work to attend to. It's hard being so dedicated. Oh well, I'll go there for some leisurely sightseeing once Fodlan knows peace.
Hannah.
Reunion on the battlefield? That's bleak. That must have been so hard on everyone. We gotta keep looking after them all. I mean, they still look to you for guidance, you know?
Oh yeah, she can do faith.
If you manage to take back Fruitiad, it'll make it a bit easier for us to do business. Taxes in the Fargus dukedom are ridiculously high. Makes it hard to even think about trading. That Cornelia woman. What does she use that ample tax money for anyway? From the Empire's perspective, I suppose it makes sense to squeeze the former kingdom territories for all they're worth. But if they throw those territories into total ruin, doesn't that defeat the purpose of conquering them?
I mean, if you can throw them into ruin, then you can eventually take them without having to fight.
I think this one, yes. I think.
And then it's much easier to repair.
Return soon, please.
Or if not easier to repair, it's more acceptable to repair because it's like, oh, well, of course it's just after a war, so all the money is going to go to repairing everything. Desi. Whoops, that was a cat, not the sparkly. There it is.
The fish in this pond get fed every day, so they're swimming all lazy and serene. But the only reason they're kept here is so that they can one day be used for food. But the fish don't know that, so they just swim around happily. It's a bit of a miserable thought, but aren't soldiers the same?
Ignorance is bliss. I mean, I can see where she's coming from. Some Albinian seeds. Whoops, cultivate.
No.
Cynthia is actually in her room right now.
I'm relieved the prince seems to have finally come to his senses. Though it's a real shame that Lord Rodrigue passed away. It really is. But now, I think we're starting to see a sliver of hope for the future of Fodlan.
And boost that reason up. Reason is always good. And then we gotta go see Bernie, who's always in her room.
It's always so peaceful coming back here. But it's hard to relax knowing we have to go out on another expedition again so soon. And now we're headed to the kingdom? That sounds hard. Oh, really hard, don't you think?
It's gonna be tough. We'll be fine.
You'd say that. Why'd I even ask?
Nah. Bow and lance. Insect larva. Whoop. Where am I going? Over here. Right. You would think I would know how to get around this place by now.
I couldn't really pick that much.
Well, I do have something good to say at the very least.
We're busily planting seeds.
If my mom actually gets enough money from the government, I may actually be getting a Switch for myself here fairly soon.
Neato.
So, I have a small question for you, that I'm pretty sure a number of other people might be interested in if they're ever watching this.
Okay.
What sort of capture card do you use?
I use a really crappy one. It was, when I bought it, it was top of the line, I'll be honest. But since then, a lot of other... Okay, my ears have just started ringing. I can't even hear myself all of a sudden.
Oops.
Yeah, I don't know. Just, there it goes. Okay. I don't know, just for some odd reason, like, my ears just started ringing so bad that, like, I could tell that I was talking, but I couldn't hear what I was saying. That's not fun. Luckily it only lasted for a moment. But anyway, when I bought it, my capture card was really good, practically top of the line. It was one of the best, like, HD capture cards that was out there. But the capture card I use, which is a Hauppauge, which don't ask me how to spell that, it's confusing. But,
this is all just a happy dream.
oh dear.
That poor soldier.
Yeah, that poor soldier.
Wasn't time to do things properly. It pains me that I was
But as you were saying,
home to his territory. Once this war is over,
yeah, sorry, I was...
Now, we need to focus on taking back Ferdiad. All will be well.
Indeed, Ingrid.
What Ingrid was saying, so... but... Gerald and Citri Eisner. But yeah, I guess they... That's interesting that they didn't add anything, because, I mean, she's here, so I assume this one has been his. Surprised they didn't add something. But anyway, so again, what I'm currently using is a Hauppauge. It's their HD PVR2. It's an external capture card. And it's a really... When I got it, it was a really good capture card. Does 720p really well, which was when I bought it. the 1080p was just becoming a thing. So it's was really good for when I bought it. But unfortunately, should probably prepare for the cold.
So let's make sure we're ready for anything.
But unfortunately, due to the changes in, technology since then, like, this thing can do 720p. I don't have a 1080p monitor or TV or anything. Excuse me. I have a 1080p, but I don't have a, 4K. But when I'm recording here on the Switch, I'm having to record 720, because if I try to set the Switch to 1080 and then send it through the capture card, it crashes the capture card. So if you want to do 4K, you really can't use it, So I can't even record 1080 on this thing. All my videos are 720, because that's literally the highest I can do off this. As the show goes on, I feel like it doesn't seem like...
See, the reason for my asking is, I don't know where to begin if I were to look for a capture card to buy.
If I were to recommend a capture card, I would say, and this is what I would like to do if I can ever, get a new one. I would go with the Elgato. The Elgato is now what the Hauppauge used to be back then. It's basically the top of the line. Nico uses it, a lot of Twitch streamers use it, that kind of thing. So
that's expensive, though. Goodness.
Well, unfortunately, capture cards in general are expensive, so...
Foolish behavior.
One of the big issues that I've had with recording and streaming and things like that myself is, you know, when I started on Twitch the first time doing the streaming and things, I had actually taken a really old capture card that my parents had, like really old. We're talking like, the best of intentions, I'm still a criminal. That's a Yuri. Which can I start over with a clean slate? Possibly, how about right now? Nah, I didn't think so. Like, I had a really old capture card. In order to even like capture anything from it, I had to have a whole like setup of splitters and things like that. If you were to go for capture cards, I would not recommend any of the Hapage capture cards, unless you're going to pick up XSplit, which itself is stupidly expensive. It used to be free, but then XSplit was like, hey, what if we started charging for our program instead? And now barely anybody uses it.
I suppose unless I get more money than I'm expecting, I guess my plan will be to get a Switch Lite rather than a full Switch and not plan on recording or streaming off of it.
Yeah. That's probably the best option, is just to figure that way.
stands ready to lend its aid to you and Dimitri. It may be a roundabout route.
Again, if you did want to go with the capture card, the reason I would not recommend Hapage, and I like started saying it, but then I got distracted. The Hapage capture card, like OBS and other capture software like that, has issues capturing from the Hapage stuff, because the Hapage capture cards have a special, it's not a codec, but it's like a special like programming and stuff like that to them. And OBS has a workaround that lets it sort of hack into the capture card and run off it, but it doesn't run off of it the way that the Hapage recording software that comes with it, or like XSplit does. And the reason for that is that XSplit actually has a license to like use the Hapage like drivers and stuff. It was a sort of an exclusivity like contract thing that Hapage and XSplit did. But because of that, the Hapage capture cards don't, like, they do work with OBS, but not the way that they should. If I were to use XSplit, for example, I'd be able to capture the audio right from the capture card, and I would be able to hear it through the like speakers of my computer, similar to what people like Nico and other streamers have, where they can hear the game right through their headphones. I can't do that at all, because of the way that OBS has to work around the programming of the Hapage capture card. So it makes it really hard to like note. It makes it really hard to know where the audio levels are, because you can't hear anything. That's several episodes ago, back in the 90s. I'd actually turned off the capture card, if you remember, because I said, like, when I was doing Donkey Kong 64, the capture card and the TV were at, like, the same volume. And when I went back and was watching the Fire Emblem Three Houses footage, that wasn't the case for whatever reason. I don't know why. It wasn't picking up the TV the same way as in Donkey Kong. So we have several episodes that are completely almost like silent, except for us talking, because I had turned off the capture card's audio, figuring that I was just going to pick it up to the microphone. But that I've turned the audio on since then, of course. But like, I've had to do a lot of like record, check, things like that to be able to see where the audio is even at. Find the flowers, give them to Gilbert as a gift. Okay. Deliver the requested resources. Quest complete. Renown and some gold. But yeah, it's very difficult using the Hapage, and if by any means I'm ever able to get something better, I will, like, immediately. That's probably the next thing I'm going to upgrade. So, but like the Hapage capture cards are just an absolute pain, and they didn't used to be that way. The reason I picked up the Hapage HD PVR that I have was because the old capture card that I had when I first started doing streaming was also a Hapage capture card. So I was like, oh, I'll just pick up another Hapage since I know that that works, you know. And at that point, there was a couple of other capture cards. Elgato was just starting out. There was another one called like Dazzle or something like that. And they were better capture cards, but I didn't know anything about them, so I didn't really like want to try picking up one of those. Just because like I wasn't sure about them or anything like that. And I still regret that to this day, because it was only about 5 or 6 months after I got my Hapage capture card that XSplit suddenly announced, oh, we're going to start charging to use XSplit now. And I was like, okay, well, I don't have money to pay, because it's like $200 for like a year of usage. I'm like, I don't have that kind of money, you know, especially at that time, because I wasn't even working. I was doing streaming because streaming like was just a new thing, and so it wasn't even like, oh, you can make money off it or anything. But then like as I started streaming, the whole like Twitch and partnership and stuff came about, and I was like, oh, well, maybe I can like do this instead of getting a job, you know. And so then I was like,
you mean exactly what I'm trying to do right now? Right.
So it's what I'm trying to do right now too. It's just freaking good luck me finding any time. I was doing streams starting at about 7:30 and going till about 10 to 11, you know, when we would then record. And that worked at first. But I did that for just like 3 days. I'm like, okay, you know, this works, you know, I can do this. And then, like, that Saturday, you know, basically a couple of days ago as of this recording, my sister bought the boys an Amazon Fire Stick, and now the TV is just always on. I'm like, I can't record when, I can't stream or anything when people are watching TV. The 7 o'clock to 10 was because that was when nobody was out here. But now there's always people. So it's
bear be a second.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, Lysithea and Hanuman actually, because he needs motivation. And that is literally it. Okay.
Professor, I apologize for the uncomfortable atmosphere between us.
Hold on. I'm afraid I am to blame. I apologize for making it awkward for the two of you.
Hey, unique dialogue between them. Neat. Well, we've talked to everybody, I think. Oh yeah, that quest that I literally just picked up. Let's go get that. We probably have enough time if Mist wants to, when she gets back, to, oh hey, Dorothy and Marianne, or Felix and Marianne are in here. I thought I was missing a couple of people. Used to think death meant so little. Aww.
Whether I lived or died. But after seeing so much death firsthand, I now realize how precious life truly is. I'm ashamed of how arrogant I was to think that death could mean so little.
Aww. I like Marianne, but she's so sad. She deals with depression, much like I do, though. I think that's one reason I like Marianne so much, is she hits so close to home for me.
Man's death. Though if my father could see Dimitri now, he'd be glad to have made the sacrifice. Don't you dare tell anyone I said that.
Let's see. We've got some supports here. I don't really want to end the episode while Mist is out. So let's just hit up a couple of supports while we wait for her to get back.
It does you no good to languish in pain. I will procure some medicine.
No, it is fine. Well, they are still deep. These are from 9 years ago. They do not hurt any longer. Besides, it would be a shame if the scars I got from protecting you were to fade. I bear these scars proudly. It makes me think that it was worthwhile that someone like me survived.
To hear you say such things.
You say that I saved you. But do you know that you also saved me that day? If I had been unable to save anyone, I would have been the sole survivor. I would have had no reason to keep living. But I saved someone. Saved you. That and that alone has always been my crutch.
When I stood before those soldiers and their swords that day, I was prepared to die. But then, you suddenly appeared.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I knew then that a selfish hand could reach into even the deepest darkness. I still have not been able to repay that debt.
You have not heard a word I've said. You have saved me in countless ways. 5 years ago, I did nothing but await my execution in a jail cell. Was it not you that saved me?
That was nothing more than my duty as your vassal.
To do. Perhaps you consider me to be someone but I think the same of you.
Indeed he does, Dimitri.
Cherished. So stop saying that we cannot be friends. Stop saying such awful things.
And did you actually listen?
Do not look at me that way. You promised me you would build a kingdom that is proud to boast of Dusker blood. In this kingdom, there is no distinction between the people of Dusker and the people of Fodlan. Will I finally, without reservation, be able to call you my friend? Will I? Dimitri?
Do. You'll call me your friend again and again, no matter how many hardships I must endure.
I will do all I can to bring about that world as well. To be your friend
Aww.
is what I have always wanted.
Is that so? I'm glad to hear it.
But until that time, we must.
They are two good boys.
Call you. So please call upon me when you walk alone at night.
Two good boys indeed.
Please tell me where you are going and whom you are meeting.
In the end, I suppose there is no fixing your overprotectiveness, is there? I suppose I can live with that.
Just accept it, Dimitri. He cares about you after all.
Obtained a rank. Yay! And yay, I can finally do all of these Dimitri things. It's nice having the old Dimitri back.
Your Highness, sorry,
So-
Dimitri, would you... do you want to train together today?
Ash, of course, I'm glad you asked. Meet me at the training ground this evening after we've finished our tasks for the day. I'll be waiting.
And afterward, let's plan on dinner. We'll certainly have worked up an appetite.
Oh, yes, I suppose. I mean, sure. That is, it would be my pleasure to dine with you. I mean,
poor Ash.
Ash.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. I'm just no good at this. I'll do my best to improve.
Are you still worrying over what I said to you before?
I'm trying to do as you asked, but it's just completely against my nature.
Trust me, I understand the urge to show respect where it is. However, that is not the case here. Yes, I was brought up in a different family and raised in a different way, but otherwise, you and I are the same.
That all makes sense, Your Highness. But I just can't bring myself to speak to you in such a casual way. Sure, when you get right down to it, royalty like you and common folk like me, we're all just...
Indeed, Ash. Indeed.
Common folk still rely on the nobility to keep the peace and to keep them safe. Commoners pay the price for that in taxes and respect. That's what Lenato says.
I suppose I can understand that point of view. But the flaw in your logic is that I am not officially the king just yet.
But that's not all there is to it. I also respect you as a person. You carry the weight of the whole kingdom on your shoulders. You're a faultless warrior, and you're always so kind to your allies. Even me.
On all accounts, I can say the same of you. But you also have a strong heart. I can't say that about myself. No matter the circumstance, you are never drawn toward darkness. That mindset of yours has done me well on countless occasions.
Well, I do my best. So I guess mutual respect between us is what's really the most appropriate.
Precisely. Which means there's never any need to be nervous or uncomfortable around one another. It seems we may have circled back to where we started with this conversation, but let's at least agree that we both should learn to bend a bit. How's that sound?
All right. Let's start from the beginning then. Would you like to train with me today, Your Highness?
Of course, Ash. Come at me with everything you've got.
Aww. Ash is so precious.
Yes, yes he is.
Your Highness, I've come to apologize.
If I was into guys, I would honestly consider Ash, but I'm just not.
I was so caught up in the moment and in my own feelings that I didn't think of what yours might be.
No, I should be the one to apologize. I did not intend to say such things. I lashed out like a child. You were right to rebuke me. I am disgusted by my own inability to express myself. Will you allow me to explain?
Of course.
At the tragedy of Dusker, I saw countless corpses. Of course, I saw his, too. Glenn's. Ingrid, I doubt you would have been able to see him. They were unable to bring his body back, after all. He must have died an agonizing death, full of pain and regret. That is what I saw on his face. In that wasteland, there were no beautiful, proud deaths that could have been written about in heroic tales. Not one. I do not want you to die a death like that. Not even for the sake of loyalty or duty.
A king must at times order his soldiers and knights to fight and die on his behalf. Their lives must be used for the greater good. This is something he understands innately. Any king who doesn't allow people to die on his behalf is too soft to rule well.
You leave me little room for argument. Have I disappointed you?
No. I chose to serve you because of how you are. As your knight, I will stand by your side and uphold your soft-hearted ideals.
What has changed, Ingrid? You were so obstinate the other day.
I've realized that I haven't been facing a very important truth. Because of you, I can finally move on. Thank you.
Mending relationships.
Indeed.
Marianne.
Marianne?
This is obviously pre-time skip.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Considering, C rank.
There's no need to apologize. I just finished.
see. What were you praying for?
I was simply asking the goddess for forgiveness.
Forgiveness? For what?
I put our soldiers in danger during the recent battle.
What matters is that they came back safely in the end. You shouldn't blame yourself for that.
It's true, but you were injured when you came to our aid.
That? It was just a scratch. A small price to pay for your safety.
But...
I would never regret helping an ally, even if it meant losing my own life.
No, that's wrong.
How so?
It's just all wrong. You have my thanks for helping in the battle, Dimitri. But I'm afraid I have to ask that you keep your distance from me.
Is that so?
Yes.
Forgive me, but I will be there for you, whether you want me to or not.
I'm sorry.
Very clearly pre-time skip.
Indeed, but...
Yeah. I mean, when you don't get it until after, so...
You must know that it's rather uncomfortable to be the subject of such an unflinching gaze.
We'll have to put up with it for a little while longer. I feel like I can almost remember.
Apologies, but I'm not sure what you're referring to. Care to elaborate?
I have this sense that we met somewhere, before we were students. But you're the Prince of Fargus, so how could I have met you?
I do not recall meeting you previously either. Although, long ago, I sometimes accompanied my father as he traveled the kingdom. Perhaps we crossed paths.
Unlikely. I lived in an isolated village in the forest. We didn't have contact with outsiders. After I ran away, I was kidnapped. And my kidnapper kept me locked up all day and night. I think I'd remember if the royal family had stopped by for a visit.
Kidnapped? What do you mean by that?
A lady found me, a helpless runaway, and offered to take me in. She promised to keep me safe. Instead, I became her test subject. She experimented on me with all kinds of spells and rituals. I had a roof over my head and plenty to eat, but otherwise it was a pretty bad experience.
This may be unwelcome from a stranger like myself, but I want you to know that it's perfectly acceptable to be angry about such unfortunate circumstances. I can't fathom why someone would cause your pain like that. I'm sorry you had to endure such a thing. You have every right to feel anything you need to feel toward the person responsible for your suffering.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder...
What's the matter?
What does she wonder?
It's just that I've heard those words before. I think it was someone else who said them, but I can't remember who. Maybe I'll figure it out someday. In the meantime, see you around.
Yes, of course. If our meeting again can help you in any way, you need only ask, and I'll be there.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, we do know she was kidnapped by Cornelia. That's one of the things that they have revealed already. Just in, like, her, like, passing, like,
Sylvain, eat these.
text and such.
What are these,
So...
Felix? Oh, hey, is this candy?
A girl in town gave them to me, but...
Right. Sweet stuff. Thanks. I'll eat them later. So, what do you need? Want me to help you get closer to a girl? Just point her out.
You're incorrigible. No.
No, we want to get further away.
If you hadn't spotted that enemy ambush, I would have been killed.
Nah, I didn't do anything special. Friends help each other out, especially on the battlefield. Just a little give and take, you know?
You never change.
Nope. I try to stay on an even keel.
You're always...
Always what?
Nothing.
Come on. If you've got something on your mind, then say it.
Maybe I'll tell you later, maybe I won't.
Fair enough. I'll be having something to eat while you're deciding
All the guys just have got seeds of gold in their hearts.
Yeah.
Then I'm right there.
Okay, just this once. Only because you saved my life.
Free food, possible conversation, and when we're done.
But seriously, these two. Just these two.
It was a joke! Felix, I was joking. Come on, let's just go eat.
Yeah, that's Felix and Sylvain for you. Oh, okay, that's what that is. Bernie, C rank. I don't think I've seen this one.
Felix, he's coming right at me.
No, I have. I have seen this one.
Maybe if I just hold really, really still. Whatever it is, I didn't do it, I swear.
Poor girl.
I'm standing here.
No, here. I believe this is yours.
Huh? Oh, yeah, that's my satchel. Wait, where did you get that?
Stop asking
I
questions.
think Nico got this one.
Why are you acting like this?
Acting? Does this terror on my face look fake to you?
You're being difficult. Come on, this is yours.
I can't. Your icy glare has frozen me completely.
Shut up, just take it.
No, please don't kill me.
What?
Poor Bernie.
Sword! He's got a sword!
My sword! How did you...
Poor Bernie indeed.
What an odd girl.
What an odd girl.
But she certainly caught my attention. I've never seen that technique before. No, I still have to back to her.
It's like, oh wait, I still have her satchel. She didn't take it back. Yeah, I remember that one from Nico. Ooh, Hanuman. Okay.
Thank you for volunteering to clean this room, Miss Annette. Most appreciated.
Don't worry about it. It's the least I can do to repay you for all you've taught me. It seems like a small payment, honestly. I wish I could do more.
In that case, I have nothing to worry about. Do make sure you get the bookshelf as well. Be thorough.
The bookshelf? But it's not even dusty.
Dirt always lurks in the places you can't see. Best of luck on your hunt.
Oh, okay. Leave it to me. Ooh, there are a lot of rare books here.
Miss Annette, please stop jumping on the stool. Sit down and crack your skull.
Oops.
Miss Annette, are you all right? Can you stand?
Yes, I'm fine. Sorry.
What a
Poor Annie.
Neither the books nor yourself came to any harm. Here, I'll help you clear them up. Oh my. The inside of this bookshelf is quite filthy.
So dirt was lurking in the places we couldn't see, just like you said.
And we found it thanks to all the books falling. Every cloud has a dusty lining.
This dirt is really bothersome.
Agreed. Shall we endeavor to get rid of it together?
You can count on me.
Steady. Don't go leaping about in your enthusiasm.
Ingrid, I think we're almost done though, because I saw Balthus and Happy had something. I think that's it at this point after these two.
I need you for something. Have a seat. I won't take much of your time.
Okay.
My apologies for keeping you waiting. You are.
Oh, wow. Did you make this yourself?
I may not seem like much of a chef, but I know a thing or two about cooking. Looks tasty,
Eat it now? I'm famished after all the training.
Not bad. That's why I asked you here.
I see. Well, thank you. Don't mind if I do. This dish is divine. The first bite just melts in your mouth, and these vegetables are perfect. The flavors are interwoven together like a dance of swords between two myrmidons.
Calm yourself, Ingrid. I'm in no need of a critique. I just want you to enjoy it and take a load off.
Aw, thank you. I will. That was delicious, Yuri. I cannot thank you enough.
I'm glad. Then it was worth all the effort that went into preparing it.
You haven't eaten anything for yourself?
I figured I'd eat something a bit later. I didn't make the meal for me.
You cooked only for me?
Mm-hmm. The innkeeper provided me with some of his finest meat and told me to feed you. I figured if I was going to do it, I'd better do it right. So I popped into the kitchen and got working.
That won't do at all, Yuri. Meals are meant to be shared. It seems my stomach got the better of me this time, though. And I scarfed everything before remembering that.
Why bother yourself with such trivialities? The meal was a gift. Seeing you enjoy yourself like that is all the reward I need.
What way is that?
A bit like when you had all that meat stuffed into your cheeks at the marketplace. Like some kind of chipmunk. I like seeing the contentment on your face when you cut loose.
You do?
The innkeeper couldn't have said it better. She's got a real
pretty face.
I'm not quite sure how to feel.
Really though, there are a few things I enjoy as much as seeing a woman indulging herself.
You should consider your words before you speak. Such a flirtatious comment can only invite misunderstandings.
I didn't mean it that way.
And yeah, just Balthus and Happy now, it looks like. Another B rank.
What's all this?
I think this is the last of the B ranks between the DLC characters.
Some poor son just left it here for me to find. I'll be taking this then.
Which means I can start working on the A ranks.
The whole world is your collection jar. Unbelievable.
Sorry about that. Look, I feel awful. Please don't twist up your face like you're suppressing a disappointed sigh. How about I use this gold to buy you something nice? A sweet treat, perhaps? Yeah?
I don't eat contraband sweets. Are you trying to get me locked up again? Give back the money or don't. It's none of my business. Either way, keep me out.
As you wish, milady. Straight to the fun fund it goes. Drinks don't buy themselves, unfortunately.
That might make for a fun night or two. But what about all the money you owe? If you're going to keep this, you should apply it to your debts before a bounty hunter gets a hold of you.
This gold wouldn't even make a dent. It's chump change. Better to drink it than waste it. In any case, when I'm dead, I'm dead. When that happens, none of this will matter anymore. I'm not gonna worry about what I can't control. I've got better uses for this gold in the meantime.
I don't understand how you can be so reckless. It's as though you want to get killed. Meanwhile, if I lose control for even a moment, monsters will eat me for dinner.
Hearing you say that so casually feels like a bad omen. It's unsettling, that's for sure.
Sorry, is that too morbid for you? You just told me when I'm dead, I'm dead.
And it's true. For me, not for you.
And why is that?
Because all
Why
the
is
stress
that?
I'm drowning in is my own fault. Every bit of it. You can't say the same. I'm in trouble because I borrowed, drank, and fought too much. All my own choices. That means it's on me to take responsibility and accept the inevitable outcome.
So, since it's in my control to keep the size at bay, I don't get to relax ever?
Not quite. I'm saying that it isn't your fault, so you shouldn't have to bear that burden alone.
That's a nice sentiment. But people are hardly lining up to share this burden with me. Talk is cheap. Everyone knows it's all over the instant I sigh.
I have a habit of not saying the right thing to her. Not much much I can do about... Hey! It's more gold! Go ahead and join your buddies in my pocket, pal.
Alrighty. Malthus and Happier B rank. And that is it. Is all of the supports. So we've got all the supports, we've used up all of our actions. I've just got to turn in this quest here actually, because I completely forgot about.
I think this month we will invade Cleveland. Is it tricky?
Did I not? I'm confused. Hang on. Having flowers, we've not yet gathered enough. Ask for the most beautiful flowers you can find. Find some flowers. Is there more flowers? I thought I picked the flowers up from there. I'm confused.
This month we will leave the. Is it tricky?
Do I need to give him the flowers? Oh, I see.
Thank you.
I have to actually give them to him. It's not just an automatic, like... It doesn't just automatically turn that one in. Interesting. That was a little confusing, because they haven't done that one before. That I can think of. Except for, like, when I was doing the lost items the first time. But that was also, like... You had to... Somebody else gave you that quest. That was the first time it was like, find something for me, and then like actually give it to me instead of just auto-marking it. So, but I think that's probably it for this episode. Can't think of anything else. So, I'm not sure if Miss having issues with her mic. I don't hear her all of a sudden. She is typing, so gonna assume yes. Cause yeah, I don't hear her. So, oops, she says her Discord froze on her computer. Oh, yeah, she's not even in the call. Whoops. Whoops. Well, when she figures that out and gets back, she'll be back. I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you have, feel free to subscribe. Check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any episodes you might have missed. Check the description also for a link to my Discord so that you can come join and hang out with all of us and things like that. And with that, we will see you guys next time. And Mist would say, have a good day, everyone, because she's, you know, trying to fight with her Discord. So, it's on low power for me to swap to it. Okay. Well, with that, we'll see you guys next time. See you later.